Thank you very much for joining us on this live webinar. Today we're going to speak about how to obtain a golden visa in Spain. But before we start, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Adriana Maria Barba. Along with my business partner, Manuel Vázquez Utzet, we are the managing partners of Vázquez & Barba International Legal Consultants. We are a law firm with main offices in Spain, but we have locations around the world. We are also able to provide you with real estate agency services because we have licensed real estate agents who work in our office for us. In addition, I'm specialized in international taxation. So anything regarding the fiscal obligations of your investment can be taken care directly by us. As you may know, the Golden Visa is one of the residence permits that is most common for investors around the world because it only requires that the person from a country that is not Spain makes what Spain considers a significant investment into the Spanish economy. As you know, Spain is situated in southwestern Europe and is regarded one of the most popular destinations to settle and to make your life. It's a vibrant country with majestic landscapes and an excellent quality of life. Many argue that the best one in the world. It's a nation with a rich history and a unique culture and very varied traditions. Spain is also one of the most important economies in Europe and is also a full member of the European Union and the Eurozone. So, going back to what the law describes as a requirement to make an investment in Spain that is considered significant for the economy and that will grant you a golden visa. You can either make an investment in real estate for €500,000, an investment in Spanish stocks and bonds for €1 million, or an investment in Spanish bonds or public debt for €2 million. So we're going to get into detail into the most popular one, which is the option to invest €500,000 in real estate. Apart from other legislations, Spain offers a significant advantage when the investment is in real estate because it can be made either in commercial or residential real estate and also is not restricted by area of the country. And also it can be made in one property or in several properties. So what many of our clients do is that they invest in two properties. One that they keep for personal use, and as I mentioned, since we are a real estate agency, we can manage for you. And then another one that is for personal use. But if the amount of these two properties is equal to €500,000 or more, you get rentability not only for the increasement of value of the property that you have for personal use, but also the rent profits that you have of the property that you have for rental. The purchase of these properties can also be into different geographical areas, and we have an extensive network of real estate agencies, not only in Barcelona, which is where our main office is, but throughout the whole of Spain. So let's say you want to purchase an apartment in a town close to the beach and then another property in a city, we can also do that as long as we comply with the requirement to obtain the golden visa to invest €500,000 or more. It is very important to make the to make it very clear that this €500,000 cannot be financed. The only amount, the only quantity that can be financed is whatever is above the €500,000. So let's say the ideal property that you find is €650,000. You have to come with your investment from abroad of €500,000, and then you can only finance the €150,000 in this particular property that we use as an example. It is very important to note that in the case of Spain, you can also invest in commercial real estate. So we have clients that have acquired either buildings for rent, or a parking lot, or offices, or properties in industrial complexes. Basically, in order to obtain a golden visa in Spain through real estate investment, the main requirement is that the investment is of €500,000 or more. Let me explain to you one of the benefits of acquiring real estate in Spain compared to other countries of the European Union. The Economist, the reputable financing magazine, has made a comparison study between several areas of Western Europe and has decided that Madrid, Barcelona, and Lisbon as the 3 top cities to invest in real estate for this year. In addition, Spain has a very strong judicial system that will ensure that your property is always guaranteed. Of course, if you are accompanied by professionals throughout the process, that your right to your property is guaranteed. It's actually guaranteed by the Constitution and by all the laws. And regardless of the price declines of the past decade, since 2017, prices have started to recover without any stop, and it is, in our opinion, have been recognized as one of the best lawyers in Spain for investment in real estate. So I can tell you that in our opinion, it is an ideal moment to invest in real estate in Spain. In Spain, only 22% of permanent housing has been rental in Spain. To make it a comparison with Germany, is 49% and 36% in France. This means that in the case that you want to rent one of the properties that you need to make a profit of while you invest in Spain, it will be easier for you to find renters, because not the majority, actually a great minority of the properties that exist in Spain are not for rent. Another great advantage of acquiring real estate in Spain is that there are not any restrictions for the acquisition of real estate by foreign buyers. In many jurisdictions, it is required that in order to acquire real estate, the person either has to be a permanent resident or a national prior to acquiring the property. That is not the case in Spain. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step of the real estate purchase process in Spain for the persons who are watching this webinar live, you will receive a brochure that will explain these steps in a little bit more depth. But if you're catching this webinar later on our YouTube channel, please feel free to send us an email at info@bbilc.com, and we will be pleased to forward it to you. The acquisition of real estate by a foreigner in Spain, it starts with the granting of a power of attorney to a licensed professional such as ourselves. In this power of attorney, you will allow us to obtain for you a foreign ID number. This foreign ID number is only a number given to you as an ID to enter into contracts. Since many of these contracts are for a great length of time, Spain has introduced this number because your passport number expires every 10 years. That way, with the issuance of this number, it is always guaranteed that whichever contracts and legal documents that are signed under your name here in Spain are always identified with the same number. This power of attorney will also entitle us with the authority to open a bank account on your behalf. You will always have to open a bank account in Spain when you try to purchase real estate. In addition, it will allow us to complete the real estate transaction for you, meaning that for the whole process of the real estate purchase, you will only have to come to Spain once, which is to make the bank account active and operative. Or you can complete and become a homeowner in Spain only having come to Spain once. And that's our specialty, actually. We take care of international clients that come, but the moment they come to Spain, it is when the purchase has been 100% completed. Once we complete the real estate transaction in front of the notary, pay the corresponding taxes on your behalf, and make sure that we register the property under your name, it is when you actually have the title of the property. And at this point, let me get back to the fact that you can also obtain a golden visa through the investment of 1 million euros of stocks and bonds in Spanish companies, and also in the acquisition of Spanish public debt. But it is at the point when you actually have the documents that establish that you have completed the investment that we recommend that you start then the application process for a golden visa. A golden visa offers significant advantages compared to other residence permits because it does not require that you permanently move to Spain in order to maintain your residence status. As long as you maintain the investment, you will receive a permanent resident card that will allow you to live in Spain, work in Spain, move throughout the European Union without any regard for borders, and then if you decide, establish yourself in Spain. There is one topic that is always of interest of our clients. Rental income is taxed at 19% for residents of the European Union, Iceland and Norway, and 24% for all other residents. Once you decide to make an investment in Spain and then apply to get your resident card in Spain, you will have made one of the best decisions of your life. And I of course say this according to my personal opinion. I have lived both in Latin America and the United States for more than a decade in each part. and it has been now 12 years since I moved to Spain. And apart from being the owner of a very successful business, which is the law firm that I'm introducing to you right now, I have, without a doubt, make a significant improvement in the quality of my life. Spain, starting because Spain offers one of the best healthcare systems in the world that is fully subsidized by the government. In addition to that, the quality of the foods that are consumed in Spain and that are regulated by the European Union are probably the highest the most strict entity regarding the consumption of both pharmacy products and food consumption products around the world. There are strict regulations for the quality of air and the quality of the water that is of public consumption. And apart from that, as I mentioned at the beginning, Spain is a beautiful country that offers you very clearly and very accessible is a very accessible standard to a very high quality of life, because distances are short. There is a climate that is not extreme. Also, the culture is focused on having a good life, not only on producing. And we specialize on persons who particularly come from the United States, because I'm both a lawyer in the United States, licensed by the New York Bar, and a licensed lawyer in Spain. And coming from the United States, all of our clients are fully satisfied on their decision of making the move, or at least having the property here in which they plan to retire in a couple of years. So let me invite you to send us questions. I'm looking at several screens. I just want to make sure that I can address any kind of question that you have regarding how to obtain a golden visa in Spain. Also, if you want to have a private consultation with me, I will always take care of you personally. We have a whole team of lawyers and licensed real estate agents and accountants that work in our firm. But once we communicate with you, the communication will always be through me personally. If you want to set up this consultation, please send us an email at info@bbilc.com, and I will be very pleased to address any kind of concerns or questions or inquiries that you may have regarding the golden visa in Spain. Having the resident card, in addition, also starts the path for citizenship for persons who are of Latin American descent. After 2 years of having this residence, they will be able to apply for Spanish citizenship. For any other persons of other nationalities, they will have to maintain this resident card for 10 years prior to applying for citizenship. But the years that you have this residence are years that can be accrued on your path for application for Spanish citizenship. That will not only open the door for Spain as a full citizen, but as a full citizen of Europe, and all the advantages that this has. I have a question. It says, can you say more about the first step in the process? I heard you mention the application as the first step. No. Actually, the application for the golden visa is only done, and we recommend that, although the law says that once you can prove that you have the intention to make the investment, we always send the documentation once the investment is fully finalized, because this will not allow the person who's reviewing the application to have any kind of doubt that the requirements set out by the law has already been completed. So the first step is to actually make the investment, which can be either 500,000 euros in real estate, 1 million euros in Spanish stocks and bonds, which be very careful. We always recommend that you check with us which kind of stocks and bonds can you purchase in order to apply for a golden visa, because not all of them qualify. And then or 2 million euros in Spanish public debt. Once that investment is completed under your name, and thank you for this question, because it allows me the opportunity to clarify that not only the investor, but his or her significant other and children under age will be covered under the investment for the application for golden visa. Once you have completed the investment, then we start with the application process, which starts with a power of attorney. The power of attorney, we do it as a first step to complete the purchase. And once we have completed the purchase, then we start the application for a golden visa with the proving documents that the investment has been completed. At that point, you will also have to prove that you have health insurance at least for a year that covers you in the same manner that the Spanish public health system covers you, and we will be happy to assist you to get that policy, and several other documents such as forms and payment of government fees that must accompany this application. I have another question. Adult children are not covered on the first investment, let's say. If you want your adult children to obtain a golden visa, they will have to make an investment on their own name, and there is the possibility of them being co-owners of the same real estate asset. But the one investment in real estate of 500,000, Spanish stocks and bonds 1 million, or public debt 2 million, will cover one family of investors, and the family is defined as parents and parents, as I said, the investor, the significant other, and minor dependent children. I hope that is sufficiently clear. I think I gave a really long answer to a question that is somewhat simple, but I just want to make sure that you had your doubts clarified. Okay, so we have been here for approximately half an hour. Thank you very much for joining us. We have a webinar regarding investment in Spain every Tuesday at the same time. So we encourage you to follow us on our social media. And by the beginning of next year, you will have all these videos updated in our YouTube channel. In the meantime, please feel free to send us an email at info@bbilc.com to set up a private consultation. I will be happy to speak to you directly and solve any additional doubts that you may have. Again, thank you very much for being here with us, and I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.